I can't believe it. We have the Touchline Podcast boys in here.
Sorry, is The Rock promoting the game or is it Malata?
Yeah, it was bad.
Look, I can't say Malata wasn't swearing what The Rock was cooking. I can tell you that.
Well said.
Nah, it wasn't.
That's why he wasn't on for the first two podcasts.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
of the name.
Oh, there's full drama.
No, there was a bit of a drama. I'm not gonna lie.
Check in.
Yeah, there was a
Very good.
What is happening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another episode of Have a Chat with Ray and Stat. I'm Ray, next to me Stat.
Yeah, we're back, baby. We're back.
What's happening, cousin?
Oh, mate. Good to be back. I missed the last episode.
It's good to see you actually in the seat and not wasting our time.
Yeah, I know. It's good to be here. Finally, I've missed the last one, and I was here for like the last 15 minutes of the last one, so bit of context for you, lads. But
Well, it's good to have you here, and right next to you is Goose, Joey. Always a pleasure.
Marhaba. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Now, ladies and gents, we're all tackling the one couch here. We're all squishing up because I can't believe it. We have the Touchline Podcast boys in here with us. We have, all right, Joe, give us that wide shot. Let us see it. There we go. We've got Bill Charbel, Samuel Charbel, and Anthony.
What's happening?
I nearly got it the first time. It's good to have you, boys. Thanks for jumping on.
Thank you so
Pleasure to
much.
be on. Thanks, boys, for having us.
Oh, of course.
I was telling you boys earlier, I feel like I got celebrities on the podcast.
I know, 1 minute Phil Gould, 1 minute this, 1 minute that. Guys, what do you mean? The celebrities on ourselves.
Just locals from the area.
That's it. Just like us, bro.
Bro, they bloody attack my TikTok feed. I can't see anything else except Touchline Podcast, Touchline Podcast, Touchline.
Yeah, love it. Love the algorithm, huh?
You're putting your house on the dogs?
Bro, hold on,
Well, that's Bill's theory, though.
Bill, are you serious about that, or is this all a bit?
Well, I'll tell you, Ray, 1 million% serious. It's not. I'm not fronting for the videos. I did a billboard. I did a house series. But if you go on my TikTok, go on our socials, we did a house series. Everyone's saying, are you, like what you're saying now, are you being serious? 1 million%.
You
Put your
genuinely
house in the
think we're going
Bulldogs.
to do it?
Put your house in the Bulldogs. Put your house in the Bulldogs.
I understand.
like $10 on Bulldogs.
No, when I say house, you will see me putting about $5,000 on the dogs.
Okay, I've got to get into the mindset.
Honestly.
Because I'm a very passionate dog supporter.
Yeah.
And when I was younger, I don't like to see through like, oh no, we're going to be great when we suck, right?
Yeah.
Why are you so confident? Because I can't see it.
Look at the stats.
Yeah,
You're a stats
I
man.
know,
You're a stats man.
I understand, but I just don't see it.
Let me run through it.
Go, Bill, run through it.
Have you heard about the theory? Have you
Yes.
read into it?
Yes.
So from 74 we lost the grand final.
Yep.
84 we won.
Yep.
94 we lost. 04 we won. And then 2014, obviously we lost against Rabbitohs.
Yep.
It's all shaping up to 2024. And not only that, boys, last time someone went 3 in a row was
is what
Parramatta between 81 to 83. The next year the Bulldogs won. Who just won 3 in a row? Tell me.
That's the only thing that's convincing me right now.
That's all right.
That's
Like,
what's
honestly.
Like-
and then wasn't there another
It
stat about
feels
the
like
Chiefs?
one theory, alright, but like it just keeps adding up. The theory about dogs winning the
Even the
premiership.
last team to win back-to-back Super Bowls was in.
Oh, crap. Sorry. There we go. Joseph's in the room. Say what's up, Joe.
Hello.
There we go. We got more mics for you boys.
Yeah,
They just
thank
keep
you.
coming.
No, but last time
Sorry.
a team won back-to-back Super Bowls was back in 2003, and then next year the dogs win it. So it's all adding up.
And what was the thing about the captain with Reid Marnie and Ryan? There's something about that.
The last team. Well, now he's not captain anymore. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wouldn't
but-
count anymore.
but-
Well, the last player to captain Bulldogs came from the Eels, and he won the premiership.
You could still say
You
it.
could say, look, there's a lot to it.
Look,
It's as simple
okay,
as that.
I buy into it, right? I'm hyped. Like, I understand. But the thing is, when I see the signings we have, and I see... Look, I'm going to be straight out. I think it's poor.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be straight out.
Fair enough.
I'm not a fan of Serraldo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's garbage. I'm going to be dead honest.
Yeah,
Look, like
yeah.
I said, maybe there was more to the Feel Good podcast that I haven't seen yet that I've got to tune into, by the way. Little plug. But
I appreciate it.
I just don't see it. And then I look at the team list this week, and I'm like, it's going to be another rough year.
I think the problem is the forward pack. I think that's where we're lacking.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'd give it the forward pack, but I was telling the boys, we're over in Perth and we're watching the Trials game, I think against, obviously we lost 12-6.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at them in the sheds. I'm like, boys, there's something about this team. I can't put my finger on it. I know I've been saying 2024 Bulldogs, put your house on it. But there's something about this team. It comes down to even the jerseys. I look at that jersey. I'm like, that's a premiership winning jersey. I don't know. Talk about the law of attraction manifestation. I'm telling you, like, I'm manifesting this. This is
This
going to
guy
happen.
doesn't believe it. He said it to Phil Gould.
That's
He
okay.
said it to him, bro. I'm sitting down watching this guy
Yeah.
talk to Phil Gould, saying, "Hey, do you believe in this theory? Have you heard of it?" Because I believe in it.
Ask him.
Of course, you gotta ask him, man. You're in the moment. You're in the presence of Feel Good. You gotta ask.
Look, he didn't agree. He didn't, obviously.
Well, I don't blame the bloke.
He goes, "Don't put your house on it." That was his exact words. Don't put your house on it.
But he said, I think did he say eventually or something like
Yeah,
that?
he said
He
eventually.
probably, yeah.
Look, we're even going to prove Phil Gould wrong. We're going to prove him wrong. No. I forgot about another stat. The last, so not really a stat, but Warriors.
Yeah.
What was it, 2020, 21? 22. They finished 15th.
That's right.
They were in the top 4 the next year. Who finished 15th last year? Tell me who.
You forgot
The
Cowboys.
Bulldogs.
You
Yeah, that's
forgot
right.
Cowboys.
Okay.
And the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even I told Gus, do you think top 4 is a possibility? Like, if you look at what happened to Cowboys and Warriors, he goes, yeah, there's a big chance that can happen. He goes, you can't write it off. But yeah, like,
Look,
you
it's,
gotta
it's
believe.
written in the stars, boys. Written
I'm
in-
trying to find the love. I'm trying to find the passion, but I just can't find it.
Yeah.
You'll find it in
we
October.
can't see it as well. Like it takes time as well. Like because don't forget, 7-8 years we struggled a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we had no attack, no defense,
That's right.
and plus buying players and people are leaving at the same time. You know,
No cap space as well.
but the problem is now, like we have to see if we're gonna make it to the premiership or not make it to the premiership. I'll put in the ladder prediction: Dogs top 8 position, at least something. You know, if they can make it that far, understandable.
What do
know?
you boys put
Yeah,
in
I was going to
Dogs?
say, what do
Yeah.
you boys think?
You don't want my opinion.
Wait, I'm the optimist out of the two of us.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the dumb idiot that sits on his couch in his oversized jersey
Yeah.
and watches us lose 66-0. Okay.
Yeah, that was bad.
Shut up.
That
I
was
cried a few years ago.
Yeah.
Cried, and my sister and brother-in-law did my head in. I kicked him out of my house. Not
Oh
even
my
joking.
god.
I will sit there. I'll watch every second. I'll say,
Yeah.
even in a 66-0 loss, but bro, they tried. I'll say that to him.
Yeah.
I still think we're at 10th. I still
Yeah,
think
look,
I think
that's
that's
better than nothing, literally.
yeah.
So-
Mate, I want to put my house on it.
Yeah.
I'll put my house on it if you want me to.
I think
I'll
we
do
all
it.
do. I think we all do.
Hey,
but
it's not financial advice.
look, I know
do
Bill.
it.
I know Bill wants that to happen. I think we all want that to happen, but
Yeah.
I just can't see it this year.
Yeah, neither can
There's no chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no chance. Oh,
Just to let you know, be kicked off the pod.
That's fair for me.
Hey, at least he's a doggies fan. We're gonna
guys,
Roosters fan.
please,
over
please,
here,
no
right?
fighting, please. No
Let's
give it.
It's that. Give your analysis, cousin.
Yeah.
Go for
Okay,
it.
so we've discussed the forward pack. There's
Yeah.
a clear lack in the forward pack. I feel like anyone that we look at that played for Penrith in the past, we bought him. For example, Tedavano. Okay,
Yeah.
but my problem here is the 7.
Yeah.
At the moment, we've got 2 6s in the halves.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Sexton is the greatest thing ever, but at least it's A7
Yeah.
in a market where we couldn't find anything. We had to grab something.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's not named, I just can't put my finger on it. I think, but a 7's a problem for the Dogs.
Yeah, that was a big problem. That,
Yeah, it's always been
Our
an issue.
last best halfback was Trent Hodkinson,
That's right.
and we haven't had a great halfback since him.
That's right.
That's a
Yeah.
worry.
It's a big worry. At the end of the day, you look at every team, they've got it like that in the top, they've got a decent 7. Like Jerome Hughes at the Storm, Cleary at Penrith. You know, you got Sam Walker at 7 who's like starting to show what he's really capable of. Like you got all these big ones coming through that are great, and there's that direction that leads around the team, but we don't have that.
we don't have
On
that.
top of our forward pack that's lacking at the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got money.
Yeah,
I
we
know
do,
we've got
yeah.
money, but there's nothing out there that's worth.
Yeah.
Like I know we're looking for the future. I'm looking at that.
Yes.
Because I'm not willing to put my Samsung Galaxy on the Dogs. You know, I'm gonna put my house
Exactly.
there,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Like you talk about forward pack, do you reckon what's his name? Fanua Blake is worth $2 million. Like, would have you paid that much to get him? Because we do lack a forward like him. Me, personally, I would spend that much for him because
Okay.
we're missing a
My
forward like
problem
him.
with Fanua Blake.
Yeah.
First off, I've got to pay it. Like, what a year he had.
Yeah.
Yeah. He actually did. Yeah.
Insane. But he left mainly early
Yeah.
to go to Warriors. He said, I'm homesick.
Yeah.
When, beginning of last year, he signed the 3-year deal, like 3 extension, because I'm home, I'm here. And I know things change. I know things happen in life and family and any sort of occupation. I understand you got to make the sacrifices.
Yeah.
But after signing a rich deal, he's like, I need to go home now.
Yeah.
Can we afford to have something like that at our club? Yeah. I understand the stats he gets us every week, what he would do for our forward pack. Yeah, it would be instrumental, but we've got to think bigger than that. We've got to think,
Yes.
okay, will he be consistent for us? Will he stick it out through his contract? That's the biggest part. Like, I would love a Fanua Blake. I'd love a pain in the ass.
100%, yeah.
You wouldn't. Like, you'd be stupid. Like, we've got a Tadavano. Like, not with all due respect, but like, I'd rather someone young in their prime, like, Fanua Blake's coming through.
Yeah.
I'd love that. But there's things that happen off the field that's my problem. Like that's my worry.
Yeah.
Sounding a lot like Tavita Pengai Jr.
After what he did, that was the
He's
biggest
thinking
thing.
of coming back now.
Yeah.
He told me that yesterday.
That's South Logan Magpies is that now.
That's right. Yeah.
That's like that's. I know. I think I pissed off Gus when I said it.
Yeah.
Like I think I did.
Yeah.
And when I asked it, there was a moment in my head. I'm like, oh no, what did I just ask?
Yeah.
Well,
it's good.
Yeah, but like, look, like, but it's. I think there's truth in what I said. As in, I was saying that he fell out of love for the game. All of a sudden, he falls back in love with the game. But 2 weeks later, like, it would have been better if he took a dive in a boxing match, and like maybe the fans would have given a bit more credibility in as to why he went back to rugby league.
That's right.
The bloke won a match. And then and then after that, he's like, I'm going back to rugby league. Plays for the South Logan Magpies.
And that's been my problem with the NRL for the last, I want to say 10, 15 years. We make it way too easy for players to have control over our game.
Yeah,
100%,
exactly.
Like, I'm all for players having, rights and their players league and all that stuff. But man, ever since Sonny Bill left, it has been so easy to get out of your contract and do whatever the hell you want.
Bang on the money.
Like,
Because
look
a
at
lot
the
has changed,
Cherry Evans one when he signed for Titans and then
2013.
wanted to stay back at the Eagles. He got his way, stayed, and the contract was teared up with the Titans.
When Teddy Tedesco wanted to go to Dogs and then
Another
backflipped on
one.
us as well.
He did it to Canberra as well.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, when I look at these things, like these things are frustrating. So Tavita Pangai, what makes me laugh about him?
Just relax a little bit.
No, I'm heated.
Just let it out. Just let it out.
You know what I have? That's it. I have to fish Kelly out. I have to get it out. You know what I mean? I didn't get that to say what it means. As long as we understand, it's fine. I was going to get it out of my system. Tavita Pangai, like the guy came out and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was forced into footy. I hate it. Never liked it. My parents made me." Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But stick with your decision.
Yeah.
Don't come back 6 months later and give me this whole spiel, this hard to get. Like, bro, just go say I want to go to Brisbane.
Exactly.
Yeah, say that.
Just
Simple.
say and just keep it to yourself at the
That's
same
it.
time.
Be
But he
simple
just
about
did
it,
it
yeah.
and he just exposed himself and like swearing and going off his
Yeah,
head.
yeah.
Like, why would you do that? You're embarrassing yourself and putting yourself out there in front of the mainstream media
And?
they make it worse.
And no one asked.
No one asked.
Exactly.
There you
We
go.
didn't ask.
Move on with it.
That's the problem.
It's silly, bro. So
It's
I
very,
can't
very silly.
believe that story. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only loser is him. He had one more year on his big contract. Yeah. And he forfeited it.
Yeah.
He's the loser. How much is he on now? 100 grand?
Yeah, you're
Less?
right. Yeah, exactly. And then that's why Gus said, well, to play with South Logan Magpies, if you watch into. It is what it is, man. Look, he could have stuck around to October, win a premiership with us, and call it a day. But
Either way, you heard it here first, ladies and gents. The Doggies are winning the 2024 season.
Put your house.
Put
I
your
will
house.
put my phone. I'll put my phone in.
Listen, there's nothing more in me that wants you to be right. I want you to be more right than anyone on the
I
planet.
know I'm right.
And I hope you are.
I know 100%.
I love it. I love his
Call me crazy
confidence,
come
bro.
October. We'll see what happens in October.
Listen, October, I will humbly bow before you and say, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, it's going to happen.
Let's say the Dogs don't win. What's going to happen to you?
No.
We believe in it, but he believes in it.
No. Like I dream. Like I go to bed at night dreaming about the Bulldogs holding the.
Let me
premiership
tell you
trophy.
right now, the Dogs lose the grand final. The Dogs don't make it to final season this year. You need another podcast host. 'Cause you ain't seen him ever again, bro. He's running. He's running
You're
the
kicking
hill.
out the wrong guy. I just want to
Speaking of the 2024 season, boys, you know what? Before we get into it, I ain't even going to segue into it because we're having way too much fun already.
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, get your magic mind. I've been yelling at you for the last 2 months. Stat has been sitting here silently nodding his head for 2 months. Joe, put that thing up on the screen there. Magic mind, ladies and gents. It's taken me down from 3 coffees to 1. They're sending me more out because I need it. It is great. It's going to keep you alive. It's going to keep you moving. It's going to keep you energized. It's got matcha. It's got a bunch of stuff that gives you mental clarity and boosts your energy. So, ladies and gents, use Have a Chat 20. Joe, chuck that on the screen there. There we go. Have a Chat 20. Use that. Get your discount and get your magic mind going. Stat, do you have anything to say about these great sponsors of ours?
Mate, nothing like him. I'll tell you that. But can I also say, with that mental clarity, maybe if I need a couple more of those, and hey, put my house on the Dogs, baby. Let's go, baby.
I was going to say the complete opposite. Maybe we give it to Bill. He'll start thinking, oh, wow, we're good. Boys, the 2024 season started off in a big way.
Yeah.
Massive. Probably the biggest way the NRL's done it in ages. Last year, they come out and say, we're going to Vegas. We're taking the game overseas. We're going to start round 1 in Vegas. Stat's got some stats for us. That's why we call him Stat.
The stat man.
Yeah, that's me, mate. That's me.
I got to tell you guys, this guy with his stats, forget it.
Yeah?
That's legitimately why we call him it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
why.
so-
All right,
So,
all right.
so a bit of a background on that. So My cousins played rugby league. Timmy,
Yeah.
Johnny Manor.
All right.
Yeah, first cousins. Yeah.
Well, I was saying you look like him.
Yeah, because it was cousin Bolt and beard.
No, I didn't. The face people.
And then, but I got eyebrows, so it's all right.
I was saying-
And I haven't been concussed many times. I'm sorry. Nah. So growing up, I was always watching them. Like I followed them around.
Yeah.
Like they played for like in school. They played for Christian independent schools, like a comp, a CIS comp. So I'd go to Wagga Wagga with them. I'd go watch them, and every game, like when they started to make it a bit bigger, like through going through Guildford Owls and going to the junior para reps and that. Every game they played, like when they got to like first grade or cup, whatever, I was watching the games and then I'd text them their stats.
Oh, well. Okay.
And then, but I was like a harsh critic.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, Timmy did this, one error, mate, you an idiot. What the hell, one error, you idiot, mind. Who have a blinder, one error. In the beginning, he started replying to me because he's like, you know, it was like, oh, thanks, mate, appreciate it. And after, I would just annihilate him.
I wonder why he never
Well-
invited you to the games.
Yeah, no, he stopped inviting me. He stopped replying to my texts. I was making you nuts. But Johnny the same. Like, it was the same with Johnny. Obviously, before he passed away and that.
Yeah.
It was just a freak of a player. So he'd always say to me, thanks, Stat, appreciate it. Thanks, Stat, you're a legend. And mate, I'd give it to him too, like, there was no remorse.
Yeah.
That's where the nickname Stat came from.
All right.
But a bit of background on that.
So with these stats, these aren't about the game itself. These are about what's happening around the game. Personally, I don't think it was a success.
Okay.
All right. The media is painting a picture of we're so happy. Abdo came out saying we can't believe what went down. But these are the stats of the game, of the crowds. Go for it, Stat.
So I also disagree on that opinion about Vegas, but we'll get to that shortly. So the expected crowd was 50,000. That's what we're kind of expecting to hit there. They hit 40,746.
Okay.
And the stadium fits 65.
That's right.
Yeah.
Full capacity,
Yeah, right. Of that 40,000, 14,000 of them were Aussies.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
Okay.
And then 5,000, it's estimated about 5,000 of those were from the UK.
Oh,
UK?
wow.
On top of
UK.
that.
On top of the 40,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
So
you're
you've
big
got
fans
about-
of Super League too. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
So
gotta
you got
understand
about
their fan base.
19,000
Yeah.
overseas internationals.
That's
Yeah,
right.
so televised in America, the 40. So for the first game, there was 61,000
Yeah.
that were watching it on Fox. For the first game, the second game, there was 44,000.
Wow.
Right, that's just in America through Fox.
Yeah.
In Australia on KO,
Just KO, not Fox, not Channel 9.
I mean, for the first game, we had 838,000 tune in across all KO.
Yeah.
For the first game, in the second game, there was 786,000.
Okay.
But it brought in 3,000 new subscribers to KO.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. This is what I say. For the game itself in Australia, I think it was perfect.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's exactly what we needed. It gave us a big boost, bro. Like that's mad.
Yeah.
For expansion to the US, it did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It's the first year. I get it. It's the first of 5 years. But my issue with it in itself, I was watching it with my brother. The broadcast was horrendous. There was nothing different about what we did.
That's right.
Russell Crowe didn't show up, and he did the full ad campaign for us.
Yeah.
What's his name? Wolverine. Hugh Jackman pulled out last minute.
Yeah.
We had 0 stars there. Our musical talent was from Australia that no one had ever heard of.
Wow.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
If you're going to take the game overseas and you want to get to the American audience, feed them.
Yeah.
Give them someone that's worth watching. We needed star power at that game. We needed celebrities watching it so that when you pan to the crowd, you had celebrities. They panned to the crowd once for a celebrity. Do you know who it was?
Wasn't that John Jones?
No.
I
Nah, it wasn't.
Because he came to the Dogs actually, a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
But who is it?
It was the organizer of the event.
Oh my god.
Are
Really?
you serious?
I'm dead set.
Oh, was it that the American guy?
Yeah.
That has an association over there.
Association
Yeah.
with us.
Wow.
Yeah.
I looked at my brother and said, "Are you joking? That's who we got."
Yeah.
That's my issue. 66,000 people watching it on Fox after a college basketball game is a joke.
Yeah.
And then dropping down to 44,000 after that, we had 101,000 Americans watching it.
Yeah.
Months ago, Volandis came out and said, I will be extremely happy if we can get 1% of their market. And he elaborated and said 1% of their market is 3 million viewers.
Yeah.
In my books, that's a failure of an event.
Yeah. When you put it that way.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I agree.
Bro, there is no buzz over there. TikTok's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that are raving about it are small time TikTokers and good on them.
Yeah.
The people that they've, like, if you go and look up articles right now, blogger from Brooklyn blogged the whole game. Some small town bloke said this about the game. This guy couldn't believe they weren't wearing pads. No one big is talking about this.
Yeah.
Which, fine. You just got to change your strategy. You've really got to push for the American audience to be in there, and they gave away 1,000 free tickets.
And I know I was saying that.
Yeah,
Obviously,
we
they
said
probably
on the
gave
pod,
away.
actually, yeah.
They gave away 1,000. They were only allowed to give away 1,000 because Allegiant Stadium wouldn't let them give more away.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, 'cause, yeah.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
For Australia, I think it was the perfect way to start the season because everyone's pumped for this game tonight. But other than that, we did nothing to the American market.
I'll tell you what it came down to. I told the boys this. It came down to the marketing of it. Where was the promotion?
Yep.
Like, if you really want to cater to these American fans, and with anything, regardless of footy, whether it's business or anything, it comes down to your marketing. Look at how good Prime is doing right now with Logan Paul and KSI. You think the drink's nice? It's nice, but at the same time, it came down to the way he marketed it.
100%.
Taking that into in rugby league terms, you take a game to America, it's a pretty big market. Like you know, boys, it's a massive market. So it came down to how you promote it. Your video. If you saw the video packages, there was only one video promoting the event. Like, what else can you? Why don't they make a song? Remember the Tina Turner "Simply the Best"? Do something like that with, like, when the Super League war was going on. Like, you know, your mindset's got to be from back then. The way, how did you come out of that Super League war? That should have been that same mindset going into Vegas, but they just didn't deliver that way.
The one good thing they did media-wise, I showed it to Stat last night. This is the biggest footy fan I know on the planet.
Yeah.
He had not seen the Russell Crowe explanation video of rugby league. Did you guys see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I saw it.
Yeah,
Explain
I
the
saw it
rules.
too, yeah.
That is the best 5-minute video I've ever
was so
seen.
good, yeah.
That needs to be required viewing for every kindergartner,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
That was unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
He hadn't seen it.
Wow.
How do you... How...
I'm surprised.
Finally, it's how do you not pull a WWE and just before the broadcast starts, play that video?
Yeah.
Get everyone G'd up, get everyone to understand the rules of the game, and then fall into the broadcast. They didn't even do that.
No, exactly.
Like, I feel when we talked about it on our podcast a few days ago, we said it was a success, but I think we were looking at it from what happened on the field because the games were brilliant. You
They were great.
The first game, Manly Rabbitohs, was high scoring, both teams attacking. The Roosters and Broncos game, we had a more defensive game. Both teams didn't want to concede. But again, when you guys mentioned those stats, like, it just shows it wasn't a success after all.
Listen, on the field, they did great.
Yeah,
The refs were out of the game. I think the field had a big play in it. Like,
Oh,
there
yeah.
was
Yeah,
no
I think
kicking
so.
game.
Yeah.
There was no kicking game. The kicking game was a small grubbers, nothing crazy to the side. The wingers had nowhere to run.
Yeah.
But they were good games. But I just don't think business-wise they did what they needed to do.
Like, to say like 60,000 watch the first game and then it decreased to 40,000. So it shows people weren't interested. They said, you know what, switch it off. You know, we'll watch something else.
But onto Samuel's point about the moments in the game, you had everything you want. I said on the pod, you had everything you want in the game. You had the poster boy, Reece Walsh scoring a try. You had Latrell Mitchell on top of the world playing best footy. You had, Saab do like a 90-meter try, was it, or something like that.
Yeah, like a bit of
you
a
had, you had all your big stars showing up for the moment, and it delivered there. But as I said, the event itself, I don't think it was a success either.
It was lackluster.
Yeah.
They needed more happening at the stadium. Like, they had that 5,000 people crowd turn up the day before for the G-Up.
Yeah.
And they G'd it up with Tim Tszyu. I love Tim Tszyu. He's my favourite boxer. I think he's going to be world champ. I love him. He's not the guy you take over there to do that.
It's not the
You
right
need
person
someone
there.
from there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Bro, they even had, what's his name from the NFL?
Jordan Malata? Yeah.
This guy did more hurt than he did good.
Yeah.
Like, bro, he dogged the sport in front of Rock, in front of Dwayne The Rock.
Exactly.
Disgusting. That was absolutely
That was bad, literally.
Nah, because like we've seen him on podcasts talking about NFL's way tougher than rugby league, and then it was weird for me to see Jordan Malata like on my screen. I'm like, why is this guy promoting the game when he's been talking rubbish this whole time about it? And then what he said to The Rock, The Rock was backing our sport.
he felt
An
great on it.
American superstar is backing the rugby league. Like, I don't know. Like, sorry, is The Rock promoting the game or is it Malata?
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, I can't say Malata wasn't smelling what The Rock was cooking. I can tell you. My ear was smelling
Well
good,
said,
I tell you
well
that.
said.
Nah, it wasn't. But, like, I look at all that, of course. When you hear it
Yeah.
from that angle and you hear all that, that's fine. But it's a 5-year plan, boys.
Yeah.
It's a 5-year plan. And that's why I'm so optimistic about it. Because I know, firstly, we took our game to America.
Yeah.
We celebrate that.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, of course, it can be better. Of course, we get the right people. Of course, Landy's like, all right, you know what? In the many years that he's kind of taken over and done things, this is probably the most lackluster thing he's done so far. Mate, we're in COVID. Peak COVID, he brought rugby league back.
Yeah, that's
Do you know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm a bit more like he was saying earlier that he's more optimistic of us too, and it's 100%. But in this, I'm a bit more optimistic because I love the game so much. We took our sport, the best sport in Australia, in the world, of course, to them. Say, hey, you love your pads? Yeah, that's cute. Look what we can do.
Yeah.
And that element was great. I thought the 4 teams we took were fantastic.
Yeah, 100%.
I thought that was great. And I love that it's time for the next 5 years. So there'll be like,
Rotating
Claire will go, bro. We'll go and take it to America. Like that's exciting.
Oh, we're going.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah.
We'll go all together.
I think we'll all go.
Yeah, put your
I
hands
think
up,
we'll,
boys. We're going.
I reckon what they should be doing during the whole year is still promoting on Fox 1 and that
Try,
back in
100%.
America. That's how they're going to boost it for next year in 2025.
Yeah.
That's what's important for them.
I said it to the boys before. I understand the angle of trying to advertise it with we don't wear pads, we don't wear helmets.
Yeah.
But to a point, it started insulting them a little bit. And it's like,
Yeah,
all right, you really want to start digging at our game? Like,
Yeah.
our game's hard too. This is when I knew it was a failure. I knew instantly. A couple of months ago, I was watching a NFL game, and the commentator said, rugby is coming to America.
Yeah.
As soon as he said that, I was like, okay, they don't get it. It's
I just went dead silent.
yeah,
I
it
was
went
like,
dead
yeah.
silent. It's rugby league.
Yeah.
They did not give a clear distinction of what the two sports are because they've got rugby over there. They play
Yeah,
rugby.
they do.
over there.
Yeah.
They did not give a clear distinction, and that's when I knew it was dead in the water. I also thought Las Vegas was the worst place to do it.
Yeah, but I think they wanted to do it at Los Angeles, but I think that guy,
Yeah.
I forgot his name, the one that has an association over there is like, don't do it over there, it would fail. So they had to do it in, you know.
I don't know. I'm optimistic for the future. I just think if you want to look at it from a business perspective,
Yeah.
you failed in the first year.
Yeah, that's right.
I think, yeah,
And
100%.
the biggest dent, so before we get there, but the biggest dent was Mailata.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
bro.
That's the
That was
biggest
worse.
dent. Like,
That was worse.
Put the nail in the coffin.
And go finish.
no,
first.
go.
I'll say I think at the start they promoted it very well, but I think at the end they just stopped doing it, and I just feel that's what again to promote a game to get it to the fans in America, you got to constantly be putting their head rugby league.
Yeah.
But I think it just died out at the end, and I think that's contributed to why it didn't go to plan.
Yeah,
So,
I think you boys were right. They needed to do more marketing. They had 2 videos pop up, and that was it. They needed just to push that thing, man.
Yeah, exactly.
And onto your point, but the star power. You see, have you watched the UFC event? You got Donald Trump in the crowd. You got all these stars, and they show them on camera, and that's what brings.
Even
eyes to it.
celebrities too. They're always there at the UFC events.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's the
See,
star
that's the
power.
audience. That's what you want. But in rugby league, you don't see that.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time I was going to a South and Parramatta game at the Core Stadium. This was like 8-9 years ago. My cousin got us box seats and that. Russell Crowe was sitting right next to me on the other side of the box, trying to get a photo with him. He rejected it.
Yeah.
Like he didn't care.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt so like bad. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I was like upset about it. I'm like, it's Russell Crowe, you know, like it's a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just hurt my feelings. Like, you know,
Russell Crowe, come on, bro. What are you doing?
I'm like, just give me a picture. You know?
No, but bro, you pay a couple of celebrities, even small time celebrities, bro. Get your Nickelodeon stars out there. Get Disney stars. Get someone.
Yeah.
Put them in the crowd. Show the camera. You're good to go.
Yeah.
But
Tell Taylor Swift, stop touring, mate.
Yes.
Go to
Yeah.
Vegas Border, you know what I mean?
She's too much. Like, she's way too much.
Yeah, she's
they,
retarded.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced they're.
I can't believe it. Like seeing it on
it's not
social
cool.
media,
Yeah,
it's really bad.
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah,
did you see those? Did you see those girls outside the
Yes.
stadium?
I saw that today on Instagram.
that
I was
viral
like,
video?
what the heck just
Stuff that one. The thousands of them sitting there
Yeah.
and just singing along. I'm like, what is wrong with you people, bro?
Like they compare this girl to Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I know.
Michael is...
Like how? Like where is it? Where's the like?
There's no comparison.
I tell you,
Nothing.
they're so
At
funny.
least,
One's male, one's female.
but I'm saying like, I saw like a post. Someone was like, at least Taylor Swift can go to an NBA game. Michael Jackson once went to an NBA game. They had to escort him out, like because that's how like you know what I mean. You can't compare him.
Yeah.
I think she's overrated.
Ah, big time.
I think
don't
so. Yeah.
As border singers, the best singers, she does make top 10 for me.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't think she's that.
Bro, I like
She's
the
out
old
top
country
10.
stuff. Then I don't know what happened to her.
Yeah.
She went crazy.
I don't know where her hype came from. Like all I see stadiums being sold out left, right, and center. I was like, since when was she this big?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I think she went full silent for a couple of years. But then out of all time now, like she wants to become like the biggest star of all them. Like of
If
them
she
all.
was walking on the street, I'd walk past.
Yeah, that's it. I'll do the same thing
You
too.
pull your phone out and say, give me a TikTok.
Ray,
Give me a TikTok for my podcast. Don't lie to me.
How is she different from any other Aussie?
She's
Like,
not.
she looks like a typical Aussie from Bankstown or from the Northern Beaches. I'd walk right past.
She looks like she's from Bankstown.
Oh, no, sorry, not Bankstown. Northern
I was
Beaches.
going
or
to say you're right.
You're right.
You're right. If I walk past Tay Tay in the street, I'll probably faint.
Look, speaking of fainting, this guy, he saw Fady in Queensland. And had the biggest fangirl moment. That's Fady. I go, bro, relax, get Fady. No. Relax, we'll go, it's Fady.
Oh my God. You know, I've got to tell you a funny story. So I used to work at Sydney Airport back in 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
So I was working as a traffic controller and like pushing trolleys at the same time. So I was coming to the office and I was trying to get the walkie-talkie. So every worker has to have a walkie-talkie.
Sorry, Joe, you good? Does he need to bring the mic closer to him?
Yeah, probably might have to.
No, all good? All right, sorry.
No, that's all good. Anyway, so I was getting...
Just a bit.
So anyways, I was getting the walkie-talkie from the office. Who comes to the office? 5 Seconds of Summer. I don't know if you know the rock band.
Yeah.
So I was walking in. I'm like, who's these guys? I'm like, I've never seen them before. They asked me, I'm like, who are you? I'm like, yeah, 5 Seconds of Summer. I was like, okay, we had a conversation, talked about 5-10 minutes, and then my boss was like, he's like, just go to work straight away. As soon as I walked out the door, all the girls came out of nowhere, thousands of them. They're asking me, where's 5 Seconds of Summer? I'm like, who? I'm like, who's 5 Seconds of Summer? I'm like, 5 Seconds of Summer's already completed. I started walking out, and all you see, 20, 30, 40, 50 of them started passing out as soon as I walked out. And me and my mates just from work just laughing. I'm like, what the hell just happened here? I'm like, is this a bloody disaster here? I'm like, what the hell?
How do people faint when they see this?
I don't know. Honestly,
I really don't know. Like,
The only
literally.
person I'd faint for is Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
And the boys know
he's
that.
a big fan of Conor McGregor.
That's my man crush.
Yeah,
God bless McGregor. But we're getting off topic.
All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about the road to WrestleMania, boys.
Yeah.
But before I do, how good was Elimination Chamber?
Oh,
Oh,
amazing.
what an event. Like,
Gents.
that was crazy. Like,
Did you boys go? Did you go to the
Me and my
event?
brother went.
Oh, yeah.
I begged these two to come. They wouldn't come.
Yeah. It was better. It was just amazing experiencing that live.
Yeah.
Like we've been used to, like, I don't know if you went to live events when they came here, like live shows.
Yeah, I went to one 2018 in Melbourne.
Yeah, so you know the feeling.
wow.
It wasn't that. It was a different feeling. I feel like I was going to a WrestleMania. That's what
was massive, bro.
That's what it really came down to.
It was massive, man. Elimination Chamber, they put on a great show. I was saying to Stat, it was a very mid-card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Everything was pretty straightforward. It was so predictable. You knew what was going to happen. But being there was something else, man. That crowd was awesome.
Yeah.
We sat next to the exit of all the stars.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
all the wrestlers were walking in our direction. So we were booing Dom as he's walking down. Well, it was awesome. It was a really good
From
experience.
where
man.
we were sitting, I didn't like how they set up the ramp. It was going downwards, so
Yeah.
we couldn't even
Couldn't
see
see the ramp.
There
the
was no stage.
wrestlers going down. No stage, but the event itself, like it was. This is a moment like I'll probably never forget. Like being there, and especially being a proper pay per view, not like a normal live show. Like it was just something like I'll never forget.
It was brilliant, man. It was definitely worth the trip, especially going all the way to bloody Perth. That was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it was a bit of a nightmare, yeah.
Yeah, but that was a great trip, and it set up a lot. It didn't set up as much as I thought it would. Like,
Yeah.
I genuinely thought The Rock was showing up.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we were waiting for that actually
There was a
because
part in it where I
Where
think
was it?
Austin Theory was full mocking The Rock, and I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
that was the perfect time for The Rock to come
Like
out.
you'd think
And
the
it didn't come out.
next thing that came out of that moment was the Rock theme song.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
nothing came.
It just didn't happen. Didn't happen the way we wanted it. No one shed any tears, Joseph.
That's what you cried, Joseph.
Passionate WWE fan. That's what we like.
That's it, bro. That's it. But what a great event, boys.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And it's leading up to something very interesting.
Yeah.
This is probably the most traction I've seen with the WWE in the last year or so.
Yeah, 100%.
In that so much has changed in such a short amount of time. From
right.
promoting The Rock to take on the main event, to swerving the next week, to setting up a tag match, to setting up this feud between the Bloodline and the rest of the WWE.
Yeah.
I'm really liking where things are going.
Yeah, and that's all Triple H, bro.
Yeah.
it's all Triple H's work.
And that's what it came. Like you think half these decisions will come to be if it wasn't for Triple H.
100%.
Vince McMahon is as stubborn as they come.
Yeah.
And he's old school too. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like this bloke, a lot of people would throw out their ideas to Vince, and he'd shut them down immediately. But with Triple H, and a lot of superstars have said this. He would take those decisions in and would actually implement them in a storyline, which is good. So
Well, that was what was interesting, right? Was they had to swerve and they had to do it quick,
Yeah.
and they did it pretty well. It was just he lied to me, he manipulated me. Cody is back into it. Do you boys think that Roman loses to Cody this year?
Look, surely he does, because again, if he loses, 2 years of storyline goes to the bin. And again, Cody Rhodes will start to question, should I even be in this business now? Because again, he wants his title. And like, if he doesn't get it, then I'll start to worry for him. Because again, what's next for him? Because you're not going to wait another year to get your belt. So I think he's going to get it done, surely.
100%. There's no doubt in my mind that Cody Rhodes doesn't win. Like, as Samuel said, it's been building up for too long. There has to be a payoff.
That's right.
Like, Triple H is known to deliver, and he will deliver come WrestleMania.
And like, plus for them to change it to Cody being the main event against Roman, and for him not to win, it wouldn't make sense.
That's right.
All that work, the fans saying we want Cody, and then for that all to go in the bin, it has to happen. It's time Roman loses it. Yeah.
I'm on the Rock side. But I could care less for Cody's story.
Thank you.
It's all that you're a Rock fan.
I could care very little for Cody's story. I didn't care 2 years ago. I don't care now. Listen my story.
Listen like the underdog story.
No, bro, what underdog? Bro, you lost. Khalas.
Because if you watch Cody Rhodes' career play out from where he started, we watched him throughout. It's our childhood. I remember watching this guy legacy days. You know, watching him through that, and then went to the indie scene, then came back to WWE, and he's wanting to finish the story. You know, it's I love that underdog story, and that's what makes the story better, and the payoff will be amazing. And I feel like that is 10 times better than The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania.
I like that also. Last year.
Okay.
This year.
Yeah, okay.
So I guess
You missed your chance.
Yeah.
Go fight for the United States belt against Logan Paul. And leave this to the
But
big
you gotta
boys
look at
to
the
Rock.
merch sales. Go look at he's the face of WWE right now.
He is. He's good.
That's the thing, bro. At Chamber, I knew he was over.
Yeah.
I did not think he was that over, bro. It was ridiculous. That woe was louder than anything I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I love Cody. He's my guy. I think he's the next face of the company, but not this year. I genuinely think Roman retains, and I think he beats Hogan's record, and that's when he loses it.
Yeah.
They have been focusing so much on making this guy the GOAT.
Yeah.
They said it a year ago. They said that he's in the second quarter or whatever he's calling it in baseball terms, whatever.
Yeah.
He still hasn't done it yet. He still needs to dominate everyone and everything, and then he finally drops it.
Yeah.
And I think it just pushes Cody even further if he loses.
Yeah.
I know you're worried about him leaving. I think this makes him even more over. This turns him into the what's his name?
Daddy Bryan.
Yeah, turns him into that of the WWE.
Yeah.
I genuinely think they have a story that's worth playing out, and I think it's going to play out in the next year. The stuff with Seth, the stuff with The Rock, all this stuff that's surrounding it is too much for it just to be a simple 1, 2, 3. You got your new champion.
That's right, yeah.
So you're not buying that Rock will betray Roman?
I think Seth's going to betray Cody.
That's what people are
Yeah,
saying.
it looks
too,
like it's
yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me back in 2014 when the Shield they were together. And that's when Seth betrayed Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns at the same time.
That's right.
But everything's just happening right now. Like, it's just... Some people say it's making no sense, but some people say it makes sense with these storylines too. But... I'm just saying, I don't know what's going to happen at Mania, but it's going to something's going to happen like literally for everyone's like to go shocked.
Yeah,
you know?
it is going to be the biggest Mania.
Yeah, it will. It will be the biggest one of them all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was saying,
Sorry.
no, that's all right.
Camera. Move that a bit just to get Anthony in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so like with Roman Reigns, he's accomplished everyone. Like he beat Kevin Owens, he's beat Sami Zayn, he's beat every other wrestler, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. Who's left? Just Cody Rhodes? Is there anyone else?
I never bought into the Roman Reigns hype. I never bought into
Yeah.
it.
Really?
I don't think he's the GOAT. Like, I know Cena even puts him on the GOAT list.
Yeah.
He
He
actually
put him on
did,
his
yeah.
Rushmore, yeah.
My issue with Roman Reigns, I've said this many times, and I get why he can't be there every single week. But my issue is, like, he's not there. Like, when is Roman Reigns there to, like, defend the title? Like, your title reign is solely dependent on how you defend the title and the storylines you make.
Sure.
The Bloodline storyline, I'd give it to him. He's what really got WWE out of COVID. He's what really carried that company
agree.
throughout
makes
that
sense.
time. But, like, now it's like I just, like, for me personally, like, when I think about title reigns, I think about that CM Punk reign back in 2012. How many days was it again?
No, I think it was 2011 and 2012. I think.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Regardless, but it's like you got to, and even just Cena, just week in, week out, defend that title, make your name. But I get the situation. But that's why I could never put him on the GOAT list. No matter if he even passes Bruno Sammartino. I could never.
I get it because he hasn't defended it much. He hasn't done his thing.
That's right.
And I agree with that. And that's why I think Cody will be the new face of the company. He will change the game. He'll be that fighting champion that Seth Rollins keeps talking about, even though he wants that title so bad.
He does.
He wants it so bad.
Because how? Oh, you keep going.
I just lost it. Go.
Oh, sorry,
Go. You're all right.
I think that Cody Rhodes will win the belt at WrestleMania, and I think The Rock will betray Roman. And how I was seeing it is that Jimmy, Solo, and Paul Heyman will go join The Rock as the new Bloodline. Roman will become the babyface, and I believe Sami Zayn and Jey Uso will help him beat Rock at SummerSlam or wherever he's going to verse him.
I agree with all of that. I just don't think it's going to happen this year.
Probably next year.
I think after he gets the Hogan record, that's when they do it.
Yeah.
How far is he from that record?
September.
Maybe it'll happen at SummerSlam too.
Yeah.
You don't know. After SummerSlam. It could happen.
Yeah, SummerSlam's too early.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I am convinced about this record. They want him to have it. Because they know the Bruno Sammartino one's out of reach. No one's going to grab that anymore.
Yeah.
So I think they want him to take the Hogan one. Done and dusted. Turn him babyface later down the track if he stays with the WWE.
Yeah.
And move on.
Do you think, how do you think the fans will react? Like, when let's say Roman does pin Cody and win it.
Yeah.
How do you think the fans are going to react to that?
I think that all depends on how they do it.
Yeah.
Now, I've been saying since last year that the way Roman loses the title is it has to be the entire WWE against the Bloodline. And it looks like that's what they're doing right now. It looks like they're trying to grab every wrestler they can to sort of feud with them. It needs to be an overthrow. Like, everyone needs to have enough with the Bloodline, and the whole locker room is like, stuff it, we're killing this guy. And they do a no DQ match, and he taps out. However they do it with Cody, as long as Cody gets bashed, the living daylights out of him, it needs to be everyone's just annihilating this kid. He loses. No one's going to be upset about that.
Did you watch SmackDown? Did you see The Rock twist it to early? Like,
He done it again.
That means a lot to me. Yeah. It means nothing. I'm like, it means everything.
But that's the second time that happened.
On the first SmackDown.
There you go.
I think the first time was a mistake.
Yeah, it
I think
was.
they
But
took
then
it
the
for
second
story
time, now it's like, you know when
Because even Paul Heyman, when The Rock just twisted it, he even looked at him. So
Yeah.
I was about to say, they're building something up there.
and Paul Heyman reacted to it as well.
It was like, what the heck's going on here?
He's saying that.
So this is my take, right? Cody has to win the belt this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because, the reason is CM Punk was meant to win the Rumble.
That's right.
They called an audible for Cody to win it because Punk did his tricep.
Exactly.
So I think it was going to be Punk, and then I think they were aiming for that to be Punk Rollins for WrestleMania, and then they were going to do an Elimination Chamber match around the Universal title, which Cody was going to win.
Yeah.
So this is where this is where it stands. There is no way I see in my mind that they go through this thing another year. I don't want Cody winning the Royal Rumble 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
So imagine that. Hate him.
That'd
That'd be dumb.
Bro, that's the first record to do it. Like, that'd be
dumb. To me, it's so dumb.
I think it was
You're
dumb
setting
him
it
winning
up.
this year.
Yeah, it was dumb, but it was a last minute change that they had to do. And it shouldn't have been him. I would have loved it had to be McIntyre. Personally. But then again, it wouldn't have probably been the same element and everything else. That's just top of my head. I would have thought
But I agree
McIntyre.
with you, like, for the storyline to be another year, like 3 years of the same storyline,
That's right.
it's gonna get a bit boring.
It's boring, like, and then everyone's gonna be like, man, like, this hype around Cody, is it really worth it? Like, I don't buy the fact that they're gonna love him more.
No,
I think they're gonna be like, you know what, this guy's actually dreadful.
Yeah.
Not dreadful, but they get like, he's not worth what he is to be main event. Like, that's why it has to end this year. He has to take the belt this year.
Exactly.
How I see it happening is The Rock will turn on Reigns,
Yeah.
and then Bloodline rules, whatever. And I'm convinced that half of the roster comes out. Because you got to think about it, Roman's defended every title with the Bloodline interfering. Every single time.
Yeah, they always do, yeah.
And Bloodline rules, anything goes, right? Why not bring out the whole roster that lost every opportunity? Like, Nate Lesnar was there. But imagine bringing out all these guys that got screwed off the title to bring it against the Bloodline, against Roman, and it was all made a court order from The Rock.
Yeah.
And then Cody goes and wins it.
That's it.
Because look, let's be real, it ain't going to happen clean.
Yeah.
Nah,
It can't
happen.
No way.
Because how I see it next year is if they delete this whole had a kid for another year, Cody has to go and fight mid-carders and fight all these duds again.
But
It makes no sense
You
to
think
me.
about that. He did that this year, and at the beginning of this year, everyone was like, "What's going on with Cody? What's this storyline?" No one gave a crap.
Yeah.
Took 3 weeks, and everyone was back on board with the Cody storyline. I think the opposite happens. I think the tag match happens, Bloodline loses, there's no Bloodline rules. Seth betrays Cody, and that's how it goes down.
What I love about what Triple H has done, like us fans, we don't even know what's happening. The unpredictability that he has installed into the business for 3 years, like we don't even know what's happening with like Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank. When is he?
See, that's the biggest question mark because I've been saying to the boys on the podcast, you have to watch Damian Priest out because at Mania, he can cash it in at any time.
Yeah.
It could be the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. Yeah. That's the big question mark. So you got to watch that.
Imagine that
because
happens.
everyone went
Seth
blanked
Rollins,
out.
man.
I said, you got to watch out Damian Priest. I'm actually surprised about this bloke. I know he came from NXT and he's developing his character. And look at him now. Like, he's killing it in Judgment Day. Yeah. I'm actually a big fan of Damian Priest more than the other members. Like, but
but going back to that Cody Rhodes thing, like, let's take the storyline out of it. You're saying about he was facing mid-carders before this. He was probably getting promises from Triple H saying, we're going to finish your story come Mania. And I feel like that's why he's stuck along this ride, and he's still going to obviously finish the story. But if I was Cody Rhodes, storyline out of it, let's talk about Cody Rhodes like as a person. If I was him, if I don't finish the story by Mania, this Mania, I'd go back to AEW. Like, you came for the one reason to win that title, to finish your story, win the title your father never won. And, you know, ultimately, I don't know what he'd do after defend the title. He can do what he wants. But that's why he came into the WWE. If he doesn't achieve that, that's, you know, like, I'd be pissed if I was Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. And on that, on that, he hasn't re-signed with the company yet.
Yeah,
exactly.
They've put it off until he hasn't re-signed yet. So if he doesn't get the title this year, mate, I was surprised if he goes back to the Young Bucks and the boys and saying, boys, let's get
That's what I'm saying.
No, you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like, who knows what's going to happen during the year? He might get injury, a long-term injury, and he can't finish the story again at WrestleMania.
I guess that's what happens when you break the throne.
I thought he did that. Yeah, I remember that. Back in AEW, that was funny.
You take a look at this from an outside perspective. This is a great thing he's not winning it straight away.
Okay.
Bro, any wrestler thinks they can come back and look at CM Punk. I know people love him. I was fuming when he came back.
All right.
Okay.
Because as much as I love him as a performer, bro, you cannot go and destroy every relationship you have and then expect to be in the title picture straight away. He injured himself, stuffed him up, and it's like, play the waiting game. Cody, play the waiting game, bro. If you watch this documentary, he said, I'm a WWE guy. Yeah. AEW was never going to be my forever home. Yeah. I think he understands the business well, and he's a little bit more patient than the rest of us are. Because honestly, bro, WWE fans, bro, they're not patient.
Just as bad as Dogs fans.
Big time.
So I think it's fair to say you're not a Cody crybaby.
Hey, listen, I was yelling Cody Crybaby the whole time. Bro, the crowd was yelling Cody. I go, Rocky, Cody Crybaby's yours suck. They all booed me out of the stadium, bro.
It's crazy to see him, like, see The Rock turn heel, man. I'd never thought I'd see that again in like my whole lifetime.
What's interesting is a few years ago, he wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
He would have just dug his teeth in. It's about me. It's not about the company. He's come out and said, I'm very happy this is happening with Cody. Yeah. And he's just all about the story and the company right now. It's beautiful to see.
Yeah. But see that 30-minute promo he cut? That was up there as one of the best promos.
The old Hilton character back in the late 90s. Yeah. That's what I remember as my childhood. Like, The Rock being him, like, giving it to the fans, you know, like, saying it to the lady, like, you know, that's funny. Like, that's what you want to see in a comedy. Because you don't see comedy as much in the WWE as much. Only probably, like, Chad Gable and
Akira Tozawa.
Yeah. They're the only bit like that. Oh my God.
Some wrestlers are born to be heel. Like, you can't put it in his face.
That's true, yeah.
Like with Roman, before he was part of the Shield,
that's right.
We had our friend Jimmy, he went backstage and everyone was telling him during one of the events, watch out for Roman, he's going to be the next best thing, Then they brought him into Shield. And then they gave him the title, and then he was face against Lesnar. He versed Lesnar every single week, every single main event.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
Halanna.
But it made sense.
Like, I couldn't care less.
Exactly.
I couldn't care less for this guy. Yeah. Then the minute he turned heel, then the bloodline. Then every day I'm just doing this. I wake up.
I'm the one.
You have to acknowledge him. You have to. He's the best.
Yeah. I think otherwise, but I get your point.
No, that's true. But look, we were talking about earlier, we highlighted the Damian Priest factor.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that for a little bit because so far with the way the Money in the Bank's gone and the cash-ins, they've been woeful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Disgusting.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Austin Theory doing it for the US title and then... it was a bit of a laugh for a couple of weeks, he was getting bashed by Roman. That was mad. But, look, I think... Because we're talking about that. I just want to say I love Drew McIntyre. I've loved him for years.
Same here.
He's unreal. His character now... Just hating on Punk, just being a grunt.
He's a troll.
It's the best. I believe he'll beat Seth.
He will be.
He'll get his moment at WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I think that's when the cash will happen.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be for the Universal Undisputed.
No.
Imagine doing it to Cody, but
Oh, man.
Imagine the 180.
That is the only reason I want Cody to win now. If he gets cashed in on, oh my goodness.
Bro, he finished the story.
That's it.
Blunderbar. You finished the story. You finished the story, that's it.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
had your moment in the sun for 2 minutes. Let me press cash in on your ass. Get out of here, bro. You had your moment. Triple H like, alright, you broke my throne. You got your minute to fame. Get out of here. You go back to the bottom, guys.
Just imagine how much better though Drew McIntyre will be once he gets cashed in on.
Oh.
The
He's gonna
anger
be-
that will
he's-
just come out of this bloke, he will lose his mind on everyone.
I think it's gonna happen because
signed
you
a
know
contract
when.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just resigned, but
and
that's
during,
huge.
during COVID when
Yeah.
it was WrestleMania, he got his championship. But now in front of an audience, I feel Damian Priest cashing in will just make the storyline like 10 times greater. So I think
Yeah.
very, very big chance.
But
it's
it
gonna
just
happen.
reminds me of like if Damian Priest like cashes in to Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre, like whatever it is. It's going to remind me of 2015. Remember when Roman Reigns was versing Brock Lesnar at Mania?
Yeah.
And that's when Seth Rollins ran like, straight away and
Unreal.
cashed it in. And then you see Roman Reigns like crying reaction. That's what's going to happen to
Yeah.
McIntyre.
Yeah.
That's what I could see.
Yeah, 100%. But and then the thing, there's just so many possibilities.
Yeah.
That's why I love the Road to WrestleMania.
That's why we're in such a good spot.
Yeah.
Like WWE as a whole right now is
Yeah.
in such a good spot. We were saying it
is.
yesterday. We don't know where anything's going to go.
Do you guys watch other promotions? Like, do you watch AEW?
Oh, AEW.
I do.
I keep up to date, but
keep
not
up
as
with
much as WWE.
No, not as much WWE. Because I try to keep up with a lot of it. Like, Ring of Honor is very hard to keep up with. Because
It is hard, yeah.
They're just ridiculous. But, like, I was like seeing the things that happen in New Japan.
Yeah,
Like,
I love
the
New
news there.
Japan,
Like,
yeah.
WWE just signed Tama Tonga.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And it used to be with Bullet Club as well.
That's
I got
right,
the
yeah.
Bullet Club shirt at home as well.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of them too.
Yeah,
so.
massive. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like Balor Styles and then, you know, the Good
I hope
Brothers.
they form that group. I
It'd be
think
mad.
Triple H is going to build that storyline.
Yeah, I think we'll
guarantee
have
it's
to for
going to
sure.
happen.
But you know, another thing I love about WWE right
Yeah.
now, we're talking about all the good things and that, but
Yeah.
you know, it's the little things I love.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Cole gets on commentary, talks about CMLL, like the Mexican promotion.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
how Andrade came from there.
Correct.
Talks about, you know, Sting getting his retirement at another company, the rival company, talking, hey, you know, Sting had his retirement match, all the best for him in his career.
That's right.
I love the little mentions.
Yeah.
I love that, like, because if Vince era, it's like, you don't talk about anything else but this.
Exactly.
And I tell you what to say, you don't get the freedom to say what you want to say.
Yeah.
But we can see that freedom, bro. It's like Michael Cole's, like, as this new lease on life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
commentary. It's like he's let loose. And I love that the little things
Yeah.
like that WWE have changed in the background, in the like,
Yeah.
little tweaks. It's like, man, I've loved watching WWE.
It's
Yeah,
turned that into a
same
wrestler's
here,
company.
same here.
Yeah, 100%.
But I would love to see like down the track in the future that you want Triple H like connect with other companies like New Japan, Ring of Honor, or AEW together as well. They want the best talent in WWE.
Yeah.
Like you know how you said Tama Tonga signed with WWE.
right.
I think that's going to work out for him as well. Like forming with Gallows, Anderson,
Yeah,
Styles,
AJ.
Balor. I think that's going to work out perfectly. but-
Possibilities are endless, bro.
Yeah,
Like, he
exactly.
could have, you know, Battle Turn on Judgment Day.
That's right. And then he
double
forms
full
Bullet
group.
Club. You know,
Yeah.
It's just the
imagine
possibilities.
Bullet Clubs in WWE. I'll be the first one buying the Bullet Club t-shirt.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah.
And watch how much fans are watching, like wearing Bullet Club shirts. It's going to be it's going to be selling out more,
Yeah.
more than every other merch.
Yeah.
That's what I can see it.
100%.
It's
A
going
lot
to
of
be
people
crazy.
are comparing this era of WWE.
Yeah.
No one knows what to call this era of WWE.
Yeah.
Like Chris Van Vliet,
Yeah.
big
Machine.
journalist in the
Yeah.
scene. He doesn't even know what to call it. Like
Yeah.
he even said he's saying we're in an era he can't even describe. He can't put his finger on it. A lot of people can't, man. We're truly in a great era. Something like we're always gonna think back to when we were kids. Obviously, we're gonna think about our times with the best Randy Orton, John Cena at the top of his game. But a lot of people our age back then didn't see that.
Yeah.
So but we're always gonna say it's great. But I'm saying now, a lot of people are comparing it to the Attitude Era, and that's something like you look back at Attitude Era tapes. Obviously, it's not the same, of
course.
Yeah.
But onto yours about Michael Cole, he's bringing a bit more reality
Yeah.
to WWE.
Yeah.
You know, like we just had Michael Chandler in WWE.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's calling out McGregor
Huge.
at a WWE event. When
That
would
was
you ever
funny.
see that?
I love
That's
that.
what
That
I'm
was
saying.
the best.
That is so dumb. That was the maybe.
But it was perfect. It was perfect for
It
WWE.
was amazing.
Yeah. I think they're starting to call it the Renaissance.
Are they calling the Renaissance?
That's the tag right now. It's not sticking.
Yeah.
But, bro, this Netflix deal, all this stuff
another
that's
thing.
happened, bro,
Yeah.
it's going to be a big thing.
I like saying it's special, right? It's
It's
a
very
special time.
special.
Like, who would have thought Punk would come back to WWE?
Oh, never in a million
Never
years.
in a million years. But you know what? Imagine Vince was still running the show now.
Oh, forget
We
that.
would not be talking about WWE.
It went down for like that.
Bro,
Viewership,
like
rate
that.
ship, everything.
Because
just
like
goes
even
down.
my mates that have stopped watching it for so long, they're back watching it.
Yeah, that's right.
How
Yeah.
good it is in
The
recent
best
weeks.
thing that could have ever happened to WWE, I know it's bad for me to say, was those allegations on Vince McMahon. Like honestly, man, if that didn't happen, Triple H is not in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But like, obviously, what was bad? It was bad that whatever happened.
The whole
happened.
situation.
No, we're hearing it. You're happy it happened.
From a
No,
business
we're
side
hearing
of
it. No, you're.
I mean, we're getting great television. We're getting great wrestlers.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
It's been
crazy.
good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But then, like, but you know, we only just discussed 2 matches, like possibly 2 matches. But then you look at like the girls' match, like Bailey and Io Sky.
Yeah.
Like that storyline is progressing really well.
it is.
Bailey will win that. It's not even because you gotta remember Drew and Bailey carried them through that COVID era.
Yeah.
Correct.
Carried the company on their back. They'll get their moment. They'll have their time to shine.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
will.
It's just But I think what WWE need is they need more titles.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They need another girls mid title for sure.
They got to get another.
so.
Like, they got another title in there for the men as well
And they-
because the talent that's there is insane.
It is.
It's insane, bro. And we keep recruiting. Like we keep bringing in people. Like because I know AEW do trios titles.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say
hate
because
that.
since WWE like they don't have a 6-man tag team championship,
Yeah.
I think Triple H should bring that into
Yeah.
WWE. I think that's fair. So like imagine like the factions like Bullet Club,
That's right.
or say the New Day,
New Day, Final Testament.
yeah, or the Usos, like
Uso,
like Usos and Solo. That makes sense. You
Yeah.
know, I would love to see that down the track if that happens.
Like
I've
Clash
been
of the
saying
Street
on the pod
Profits.
every
You
week.
have, you know, you're right.
Yeah.
Do you think they should separate the tag team titles?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
so.
It's happening
Bring
at
back
Mania.
the World
It's
Tag
happening
Team
at
and the WWE Tag Team. That's
Yeah.
what I would bring back.
I think
Yeah, 100%. You've got to separate it. Yeah.
Yes.
Triple H has signed 620 tag teams.
Yeah.
They're all fighting for one.
Oh,
And then there's
Exactly.
how to get done matches in between.
Yeah.
If you put them on each brand, you
Yeah.
separate them right.
It's good, yeah.
But it'll actually bring back the enjoyment of watching tag team wrestling, not just for the sake of some how to get storyline between, Imperium and New Day for like
Yeah.
Hanak Street Fight.
Street Profits were massive back then.
That's right.
And
They were.
even the Alpha Academy, like
Yeah.
they've lost a bit. And
Yeah.
who do you think would dethrone Gunther for the belt too?
And that's the thing. Do they go down the route of Priest fighting Gunther for the RC title and then later cashing in? But at the end of the day, I don't see it because at the end of the day, they've got to get the title of Gunther because he's now a main eventer.
Yeah.
It's got to be Gable, bro.
Yeah.
It's got to be Gable. I see it as Gable. Like, I can't see
think
Sami Zayn.
Gable-
It's not
I think
Sami
he's the
Zayn.
favourite.
I don't think it's Sami Zayn.
No, I don't think it's Sami
I
Zayn
think it's
either.
Gable.
I think Chad Gable, he's been waiting for that opportunity.
Yeah.
As well. After when he lost, like even Gunther even like embarrassed him like in front of his own daughter too.
That was a
Like,
beautiful storyline.
that was a beautiful story, but now he wants his redemption.
Yeah,
It's
and
good.
you know what? What better way to do it?
Yeah.
Gauntlet match, 6-man gauntlet match.
Oh man.
I mean,
That's gonna be crazy. I
it's
can't
gonna
wait
be
to see that.
sick.
Very
I
smart.
can't wait for
I
that.
feel it's either between Chad Gable or Sami
Yeah.
Zayn because
Yep.
Sami Zayn and Monday Night Raw goes, I'll either come for my opportunity or opportunity will come to me. And as soon as he said that, Gunther came into the picture. So,
They're building something with Zayn.
Yeah.
Whether
They
it's
will.
for IC or something else, they're building a big storyline
Yeah,
with
they
him.
are.
And you can just see it happening every single week.
yeah.
But the storyline that built every single week, boys, is your storyline. This Touchline podcast,
Yes.
I've got to tell you, it was actually the week of Elimination Chamber. I finally looked at. I was with Joseph, my brother, in the airport, and I was looking at one of your TikToks. I'm like, you know what, Saka, I'm just gonna text them. I'm gonna message them, see what the go is. Boys, you start off in a garage back in 2022. I'm gonna say December 2022, November.
that's correct,
December.
yeah.
Your very first podcast is a 6-minute episode
Yeah, I remember that.
of you guys just talking about some sporting thing that was happening at that moment in time.
Yeah.
To be straight out, something that no one would even consider to look at.
Yeah.
Because you're just a bunch of lebos from the area.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And then every single week, slowly build.
Yeah.
Slowly build. 1 week you've got a new camera angle. The next week you've got a mug that says the Touchline Podcast. Then out of nowhere, this new studio gets built, and you guys are killing the game. Like I was saying the stat, you guys are on the same, pretty much the same level in subbies as us, but you guys are killing it with views, man.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
so
man.
much.
Every single week, there's just another video and another video, another interview. You got Gus Gould on your
Yeah.
potty.
That's cool.
Shab Haleri, that bloke. Shab Haleri.
We call him the Jiddu anyway.
Good.
So before I get into this story with
Yeah.
you boys, ladies and gents, stop what you're doing. Click the link below and subscribe to this podcast
Thanks, man.
because, gents, I love it. They're so annoyed with me how much I've been talking about it the last few days. I love your stuff. I watched 3 podcasts over the last 3 days.
Wow.
Think laugh, you busy man in Tasmania. So busy this guy, huh?
I'm gonna become one of those Taylor Swift fainting chicks, boys. Take me back to the start.
Yeah.
Take me back to the beginning because I genuinely think we're gonna have a very similar story.
Yes.
I want to know what got you guys to say, let's do this thing.
So
Let's go.
Well, do you want to start? Or
I'll explain the story.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, the epitome of let's start a podcast.
Yeah.
Bro, let's start a podcast. Well, I don't know what game it was.
I think, yeah. So
Coming back from a game.
Yeah, yeah.
We got into a bit of a discussion
Yeah,
about the game. And then we raised the question like, hey, let's just start a podcast.
Yeah,
We're talking
that's
all this
right.
crap. Let's just start a podcast, put it on camera.
Yeah.
And then that plan fell out for a while.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I bring up the question again. I'm like, boys, what's happening with this podcast? Let's get it done. Bought a few cheap mics on eBay, set up a few, put the flag on the garage wall, set up a table,
Yeah.
a barbecue table, mind you, plastic chairs, and the rest is history.
There you go. But since like after the Bulldogs won against
was
Parramatta
the Parramatta,
in 2022.
Oh, was it that one?
Yeah, it was in July.
yeah.
So I think me, Samuel, like behind Shabo and Bill, like they were in front of us, going back to the car, and we all mentioned as well. I was like, you know what? Let's start this podcast. Let's see if this will work out. Like let's start from scratch. Because I know nothing's not easy these days, but you got to start from the beginning, man. You want to like build up the audience, build up the viewership. There's a lot of things involved. I said, you know what? What the heck? Let's just try it out. See what happens. The first video, I think it was Bill, Samuel, Shabel started the first episode, and then I jumped in episode 2,
It's 3.
episode 3. But the worst part was I was flying to Lebanon at the same time.
Okay.
Because I was speaking to a girl that time, but things didn't work out my way. But then I came back. They say, are you coming back 100% sure? I was like, yes. And then during the year, last year, I went back to Lebanon again, like with my family, because we had to baptize my nephew for his christening. That's from Salih, God bless him. Like, he's 31 in the next few weeks.
Yeah,
so,
that's cute.
That's cute.
But you know what? Thank God, it's the biggest blessing that we came this far. And I told the boys, let's just keep grinding. Let's do what we have to do, what we do best, And this is the gift from God.
I love that.
You know what? I'm so blessed, and even the boys are so blessed. Without them, I would have been in this position right now.
I love it,
I
boys,
swear.
because you guys have done what we did, and that was grow in front of your audience. And that's when I tell a good podcast from a great podcast, in that you guys are just blokes that are like, you know what, grow with us.
Yeah.
We're going to start off. All right, we had no cameras this week. We stuffed up. The mic wasn't working. I see it in
That's
your
right,
descriptions.
Yeah.
And you just let the audience do it, and you let the audience grow with you. And you guys have just grown, and so quickly, man. In a year,
It's crazy.
Exactly in a year, to be exact.
It was, honestly, like truly blessed. Like, obviously, we're still at the start of our journey, and we're still got a ways away to be where we want to be. But yeah, man, you always got to start somewhere. You got to start from scratch, as you said, like audio issues. Even just recently, as I told you, the Gus Gould podcast, that recorded in slow motion. Always these things are gonna pop up, and it's the matter. It's how you adapt to it, and it's just you got to keep pushing forward. You can't just let that beat you down.
Like, we started this for fun, said, let's do it. But now slowly, we're starting to say, you know what, we want to try and make this a career, and that's where we're at. And if it happens, that's God's will. If it doesn't, that's also God's will. So again, we're just taking it like day by day and just see where it takes us.
Okay, so let me ask you. You guys decide. It was you two that decided it, or all four of you
So
together?
basically, we were talking.
Yeah,
I think it was me. I think a collective decision.
I think it's a very,
So
it's a
all
group
four of you
decision.
said this is a good idea.
Yes.
That's not what happened with us at all.
Yeah, I'm curious. What's the story?
So how did this come about with you guys?
Kick it off.
I love poddies.
Yeah.
Okay, I love poddies. I'm a Christian. He's a Christian, and we realized all the podcasts we were listening to were just filth. Like even sports podcasts, bro. Like you can't watch an episode without the F word, without them talking about sex, whatever.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I looked at Stat and I was just complaining to him one night, and I go, you know what? I got to stop complaining if I'm not going to do something about it. So let's do it. Let's just go for it. So we did the same thing. Bought some cheap mics, whatever. I go, let's just start. Let's just do it. So we sat in my garage. We started our first poddy, and then we went from there.
Yeah. And when he said to me, there's a little podcast, I said, you're absolutely out of your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, dead honest. I was like, mate, take it easy. Like, let's reel it back in. Let's not be crazy.
Yeah.
But he started making the points because, like you mentioned, we are born again Christians.
Yeah.
And the thing for us is I wanted to listen to some podcasts. I obviously won't get name them, but I wanted to listen to some podcasts. But I want to listen to rugby league.
Yeah.
I want to listen to rugby league content. I don't want to hear him talk about sex.
Yeah.
Girls and like that Hanak joke. I don't care for that.
Yeah.
I don't care for that. If I want to listen to sport, listen to sport. If I want to go do all that, there are many places I can go and watch those things and listen to those things.
Yeah.
I don't need to go on a sport podcast and do that, for example. Yeah. And then everything I was trying to listen to was like all rubbish. And then he brought it up. I go, you know what? If we can be an example for Christ and do something that will impact and bring like a different community in. Like I go, like it took me a while, but like I'm on board. I get it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
And we're leaders in our church, so we do the youth and the kids. We do a lot of stuff there, and we were like, you know what? They got nothing to listen to, bro. They got nothing to muck around. If we're not going to be an example to them, let's give them something. So that's how we did it. But boys, I love the fact that you guys just went for it and you just keep growing. What are you doing to grind? What are you guys doing to just keep pushing? Is your community supportive of it? Like your friends and family, they had to have ripped you apart.
Oh man,
Yeah.
You know the Lebo dads. What are you going to? What are you
They're
doing?
all the same. Like,
Even to this day, it's like, what are you doing? I'm like, Dad, I got feel good on. It's like, nah, I feel good on. I'm like,
Doesn't believe in you.
yeah, you know, the big dads.
The
A lot of
mentality,
people can relate, but yeah, a lot of people doubted us, man. Like, just friends, family. You know, it's hard. Like as you said, boys from the area want to start a podcast. No one it hasn't been heard of or seen of. Like, not many people have done it. So like, obviously you're gonna have a judgmental in a way. A lot of people are gonna bear that, but it's just you gotta keep pushing forward and just block out all the noise. Just see your career path. See where you and your boys want to head. And as long as you see that end goal, just keep pushing for it. And as I said, block out all that noise.
exactly, and stay positive all the time as well. I always say to the boys, we're on the right track right now, because like how Bill said about people being so judgmental, they want to put you down and they want to talk a lot of crap. You know what? That just motivates you harder every single day of the week. And you know what? God's given us that blessing every day. I say, you know what, God, you give me that direction, I follow that way. That's it.
I love it. So how do you boys... Sorry.
No, that's right.
Was there a point where you boys were like, let's throw it in?
Like
done.
all in?
Yeah, I'm done. I can't be bothered.
Honestly, man, if I'm being 100% honest, not so far.
Like there's times at games, like when we do our vlogs, we're like, we know we're gonna get smashed again. Are we really bothered doing a vlog? But we have to do it. Try and get a video out of it, and then because a lot of our fans love the vlogs. That's probably one of the biggest parts of our channel. So we kept on doing it, even though we weren't bothered. We just had to keep doing it. Again, that's the thing that motivates you, the drive to keep on doing it.
That's another thing. Like, we're having fun with what we're doing. Like, we love doing the vlogs, the interviews. Like, we wouldn't be doing it if we weren't having fun. But in that sense, you're sacrificing, going to the game without having to record yourself or doing those sort of things. But there's a lot of sacrifice involved, man.
It is, but it's having fun too at the same time as well. All of us having a laugh.
It's the best time.
It's the best thing,
I'll tell you right now, I've never watched a vlog a day in my life. I watch the Elimination Chamber vlog. I go, I'm gonna watch 5 minutes, just get it out of the way, so I've got something to talk to you boys about. I watched the whole damn thing. I'm like, far out. These guys are funny. They're good. They're good.
Oh my god.
I love the vlog thing, man. I love what you guys do. Your social media stuff is hilarious. I don't know how you guys come up with these ideas, but I was looking at Start. I go, that's why they're better than us. Because
you boys are smashing it. I'm looking at your socials. Quality. Look at your studio, man. You're smashing it. Quality content. I was telling the boys, I'm like, these boys are amazing. Like honestly, your content, boys. I'm usually the one to say it the way it is. I'll tell you the way it is, man. You boys are smashing it.
I appreciate it.
That comes from the bottom of my heart.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
But I'm telling you, the one that got me was your Gould one.
Yeah.
You standing behind, what's his name?
The promo.
And then in the car with JFK. I'm where does this guy come up with that?
I'm watching this thing thinking, what the heck am I watching? There's no way. And there's a feel good. And I'm like, this is nuts. But this is what you need. Like, there's a little creative things like that.
But that's what I'm saying. You guys are providing a perspective that's from the area.
Yeah.
Correct.
Guessing you're Bankstown boys.
Yeah.
That's
Green
right.
Acre, Punch Bowl, Wiley Park.
Area
There you
boys.
go.
That's us. We're area boys.
We're on the same territory.
Yeah, that's right.
But you guys are area boys. You guys, you love God. You love what you do. You love sport. And you just, bro, from what I can tell, you're you. You're you on that show. Yeah. You've been you the entire time. Keep doing it, boys. It's killer.
I appreciate
so
it.
much,
You two
mate.
boys,
Thank you.
been killing it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, stop mucking around. Press the subscribe button to them. All right?
Appreciate
Unsubscribe from us and subscribe to us.
Yeah,
Don't worry about us.
It's a joke, doesn't matter.
Where can these people find you, boys? Like, give yourselves all the plugs you need. Go.
So basically, you find us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, basically every single platform you can think of. We're on it. Appreciate you boys, for having us on. Really, it was a good chat.
Yeah.
Have a chat. I love the name, boys. That's another thing. I actually wish I thought of that name first.
You stick with Touchline, bro. That's it.
Even that Touchline's brilliant. Like, damn, that's a good one.
We went through a few. Like, it was gonna be
gonna go-
ABC.
How'd you guys get
Yeah, I remember.
It was gonna be A, B, C's. So Anthony, Bill, Charbel, and then little S for me.
Yeah.
But then he started having a cry about it. In case copyright ABCs. He started going.
Yeah, from channel, the TV channel.
He's the warrior of the group. He worries too much.
That's why he wasn't on for the first two podcasts.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
of the name.
Oh, there's full
situation.
drama.
Yeah, there was a bit of a drama. I'm not gonna lie.
Check in.
Yeah, there was
Very good.
But yeah, then eventually we were getting good reviews about the
Yeah.
pod. We were doing good, and then he.
Oh,
decides
so
to
he
hop
jumps
on.
on after you
Yeah,
guys are
yeah,
successful.
This
I
is the
get
OG.
it.
This is the OG.
But you know what? You have to understand. But ABC, like, there's already a TV channel on that, you know. But I was like to the boys, just change it up, you know. Let's make it more professional, you know, so people can like it while we're doing our videos properly, you know. But then after that decision, that's when everything happened, you know. But thank God it worked out well. That's all I can say.
Listen, here I'm thinking to myself, you know what? It's 8-11. Round 1, baby.
Yeah.
Let's start watching this.
I can't believe it. It's finally back, bro. The NRL's back.
Let's get watching it. Let's get
Thanks,
watching
boys,
it.
for having us on.
We appreciate you boys for jumping on.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
your time, boys. Ladies
Appreciate
and
it.
gents, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all that nice stuff. And you know what? If you comment cookie down below, I'll find you. I'll give you a cookie. All right, ladies and gents, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for having the chat.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you so much,
Thank
mate.
you. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you so much.